That's my biggest fear, man.
Being reanimated and turned into a
robot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's your biggest fear?
Yeah, imagine if you get kidnapped and they just like cut out your legs and just like, oh, science project, buddy.
I'd be okay with becoming a robot.
Yeah.
Do I get to keep my mental faculties and
you love logic, don't you?
Well, hey, fucking hey. Welcome back to the #1 film podcast in the world. This week, we're not doing a film. It's a shitty movie, but it's going to be in your go-to spot where movie-loving friends unpack the films that we love, the films we hate, and the films that we hate to hate. I'm Oliver.
And I'm Sparsh. Reload your shotguns, strap in your GoPros, and get ready to be thrown into the first-person frenzy of Western action and European grit. A production by Bezalev's company and Huawei's brother from 2016. Hardcore Henry.
This movie doesn't deserve a reaction from me. I actually ended up having a little bit of a conversation about it on the way. I do think it's important.
She's like, you never should, dude.
Here's
just keep it inside.
Here's the thing.
Talking about shit.
Oh, this fucking movie.
Yeah.
I had to stop it. I couldn't watch it.
Really?
I couldn't finish it.
Really?
I finished it. I went back and finished it. I really didn't want to. I hated it.
Well, what is the point where you like pause and like I can't do this?
Minute 27.
Minute 27.
Minute 47. And then the last 30 minutes. I was just like, this movie sucks.
You're going to hate me for this.
Don't tell me you like it. Oh, don't tell me that you like it.
Yeah, I liked it. That's why I suggested it.
You're not allowed to pick movies anymore.
Well, it sucks to suck.
Can I switch co-host?
Yeah. But tell me more. What happened? Like, why do you...
Oh, man, it was just like... I really wanted to enjoy it. I really wanted to watch this movie when it first came out. I thought about watching the movie a number of times over the years. I never did because every time I looked into it, it had shitty reviews, shitty Rotten Tomato score. But then, we're watching it and it's POV. I'd never seen a movie like this. I really respect the unique initiative. And there were times where it was like I'm watching it and I'm just like, I was appreciative of the art. But then gaping flaws primarily in like the acting. The acting was horrible.
Who's?
Everyone's. Literally everyone's acting. Yeah. I hated absolutely everyone's acting. Except for the main dude. His fighting was good, but even his like hand gestures and shit, it was terrible. And every single time I found myself like starting to enjoy the movie and being like, oh, this is cool. Some decision about the storyline or lack thereof or the acting would just completely pull me out of it and be like, this is unenjoyable.
One thing I felt watching this movie, and because I think we were talking about a little while ago, and you were talking about how you don't like first-person shooters that much.
Oh, like video games?
Yeah.
Anymore, yeah.
Right,
yeah,
and you started preferring like RPGs, right? So before I dive into like why I like this movie, I do want to say all the points that you're thinking about right now, why this movie sucks, I 100% agree with you.
Great.
This like on the fundamentals level, every time. Now in HD. Every time I've seen this movie, and I think this is...
Every time you've seen this,
I've seen this multiple times.
No.
Yeah, and I'll tell you why. I love Call of Duty. I love Apex Legends. I love first-person shooting games. And if anyone out there has played like any first-person shooting game, you can kind of see like this is not a movie, but this is a video game run through.
Yeah, totally agree. Totally agree.
Right? I mean, all the superficial things they have, and that obviously that first person perspective, weak plot line, not really like concrete actors,
horrible acting,
super unrelated and untouched plot lines. So
shitty
I
villain.
agree. A terrible villain, right? A very sexual villain for some reason, right?
Yeah,
I guess
unnecessarily so.
classic European, you know.
Hmm.
They're kind of like that.
Forced Russians as bad guys.
I mean, it is made in Russia,
Uh, okay,
right?
fine.
So I think the director is also Russian.
I saw his name, but okay,
Yeah,
sure. Ilya is his name. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I don't
I think
remember
it's
his last name.
Ilya. He's done like another movie right now in 2025,
Yeah.
which is on Amazon Prime as of right
Oh
now.
God.
I think it's called like
Please tell me it sucks.
It Sucks So Much.
Yeah, good, good. Take
But
him out of it. He was doing the music videos before this movie.
yeah,
What was the name of the
just
2025?
search like Idris Elba and John Cena movie.
I don't even want to. Oh, I think didn't we put this on the other day when we were eating pizza?
Oh yeah,
We got pizza super late.
Yeah.
We put
We
it on
watched
and we got 20
minutes
seconds
in
into
and we're
the
like,
fucking
no, I
thing.
don't want to watch
It's gonna be
this.
sucked. Yeah,
Yeah.
it did. Yeah, and it was horrible.
Right?
It was horrible. That was him, man. He managed to get a contract for those two guys.
Yeah.
Fuck him.
Right.
Okay. Anyway.
And it's crazy because like this movie also started kind of with the same, like you mentioned, like he was doing, like he's kind of, I think he's a guitarist for his band, and he
Was he
initially-
playing the music in certain scenes, like at the start when he goes into the room with the scientist and they're playing heavy
yeah,
metal?
some of
Really
the
cool.
stunts also that he does, like a few parkour scenes. It's
Yeah.
him doing it.
Oh, awesome! I
Right.
love that.
So-
Good.
Movies like this is why I wanted to do this podcast in the first place, right? Because I don't think the person was, making this movie kind of knowingly that this is going to be terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Because take a guess, how much do you think it cost?
I saw the number just before we were doing this, and so thinking, I haven't thought about that number. Thinking about that number now, it was 16.9 million. What?
2 million.
It was 2 million.
2
It
million.
made 16.9.
Yeah.
I saw that it made. Wow.
Yeah.
Really. It doesn't even surprise me that much because it's very unique. It feels like I wanted to see it, and I
Yeah.
remember when it was coming out. I remember the trailer, so I'm not even surprised that it made that much money. So it took $2 million. It had a lot of people,
So many extras.
some decent locations, a ton of CGI. I'm sure a ton of money in CGI. Yeah, a lot of extra.
No, it's all practical.
Yeah, like blood packs and shit.
Yeah, so the blood packs are not
but they're-
CGI, but they're just added in post.
Yeah.
But CGI is just like when you're doing like your stunts and all. So the few scenes where you'll see CGI is like the bike mission when they do.
Oh
real
yeah,
bike
and they're shooting the cars.
cars,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So you can
and
see
they're
the
blowing
gunfire
up.
is weird,
Yeah,
and the
yeah,
cars
yeah,
are
yeah,
blowing
yeah,
up.
yeah.
So those things are like overlaid CGI.
Wait, what's the difference between adding something like adding a blood pack in post versus creating environmental destruction with say CGI?
So with blood packs, it's more about you're going into like specific frames and just adding something to it. Right? That's something you can do in post. But when you're doing like CGI or VFX, and I'm no like film guru, hopefully we can get somebody who can help me understand and us better. But it is when they're shooting the scene, they have to set that scene up for that. So for example, they'll have like, oh, this is the building that they're going to break. So they're going to have like a blue screen. Nowadays, earlier it used to be the green screens. And essentially what will happen is they will light for that shot specifically knowing this person is just going to come and punch this wall, and this wall is going to kind of like crumple down, or like he's just going to pick up his gun and just do this in front of a green screen, and then we'll add like the layers of like the car going and the gunfire and all those things.
So is it just that they're doing more active like manipulation and changing of real life filmed environments versus just adding strictly graphic imaging
Yeah.
onto
Exactly.
a thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like instead of adding just like graphics, you're
So it's the difference
creating, like,
between
an environment.
like say if you were editing something out or changing the shape of something in like Photoshop versus adding an image onto like a still in Photoshop.
More so if you took the photo knowing that you're gonna add something that's not there, right?
So you're staging everything kind of around
Exactly,
that with the
right.
planning of okay, that
So
makes sense.
honestly, the one reason that I really like this picture and watched it a couple of times is the non-reliance on CGI. Because if you look at this movie, it's got some crazy stunts,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Mind blowing, and you have all these people. You have so many extras, and obviously so much blood everywhere. But then I find out that this is all like done with practical effects, which is something that's missing so much in movies these days. Because when we watch like John Cena, Idris Elba, they're standing in front of a green screen. And one thing that separates, like, if you see like Marvel movies compared to like the movies that we see like on Amazon or Netflix that just come like side stories and side movies, you can see how they've added CGI to the scene. You'll see like the road crumpling, things
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
But the biggest thing is it's lack of lighting the shot correctly. Because you're not like in a real movie. Also, they don't usually use like real lighting. It's always controlled because they want to control all the variables. But when you don't do that lighting correctly, it it just feels off.
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah. You can tell.
Right, and it's not even like the quality of like, the building looks bad. It's just like the building and the person in front of the building don't seem
You
to
can
be
tell it's
like,
like the outline of
yeah,
on a green screen. You can just tell it's like it
yeah,
feels it's like that doesn't look right, right? And
right.
sometimes it's a matter of depth. It's like shadows don't really fall that way. Yeah, though I want to go back to something that you said, which was actually I want to go back to two things that you said, which is the amount of coordination I feel like that they had to do for something like the stunts, specifically the shooting stunts. I thought the coordination there was exceptional because
Yeah,
the alignment of the guns, I thought they were using blood packs. So if they're adding the blood in post, that makes a lot more sense. But just in terms of like where he's shooting people and for the extras to be reacting in that way while also knowing how to line it up with this type of camera angle, that must have taken a lot of fucking coordination and
right.
thought. So I thought that was really good. And you made a comment earlier about them going into this movie not necessarily expecting it to be shit
Yeah,
but in a lot of ways it felt like a student film that ended up being shitty,
yeah,
but they had a $2 million budget
yeah.
and they had 4 actors. They couldn't get someone who knew how to show an appropriate level of emotion in any of them.
I mean, Russians.
Yeah, but all of the main actors were not Russian.
Uh,
Every single actor in the movie, there was the Norwegian guy, the white chick, and then the British dude.
yeah. There's 3 people.
That's 3
You have
people.
one sexual boss, one crazy lady who you find out who's like working with the sexual boss.
Yeah.
Mm, when I saw it this time, I didn't remember that fact that
That she
she's
was
yeah,
bad
yeah,
at the end. Yeah.
yeah. So in the end, when he like slams the door on her in the
Oh,
helicopter,
yeah.
I laughed so much. I like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Um,
I thought that scene at the end where he just writes easy. It's like,
Easy.
how could you do this?
Yes.
It's like easy. I was like, nice.
And you also see his face in that scene.
Yeah, at
No,
the
not
very
in
end,
that scene.
where he's lying on the
Yeah,
floor.
when he's lying on the
Yeah.
floor through the glass.
But you've seen the photo of like him for filming with the giant camera setup on his face.
No, I've not seen the photo.
Oh, it looks sick.
This whole movie is just on GoPros.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
It does kind of have that quality.
Yeah.
I can.
And
I
that's
can
how
see
he
that.
got that like POV. I think it like the attachment had like 2 GoPros added to it.
Mm.
Um, but See, I feel like that's so cool. It's like he probably would have spent, you know, I don't know, bulk ordered some GoPros from somewhere, right? Maybe like 100,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah,
And
yeah.
then just use those. And oh man, editing those would have been such a pain.
They did. There was one thing. Let me ask you how you feel about this. So I understand why they have to do it in this way. I feel like some of the things in this done some of the things done in this movie conceptually were done really really well. I have to give it that. There were certain things where it's like they kind of took necessary shortcuts, but I wonder, and they tried to put like a nice little veneer over them or tried to hide the fact that they were putting a shortcut over them, but they didn't do a very good job of it. One of which being, and you see this in some parkour movies, is they make like this weird cut where it's like in one of the chase scenes early in the movie, he's chasing a guy and then he jumps over a banister to go through a window and they make a cut right
Yeah,
there and then it switches to a different location.
yeah,
And you can just kind of tell that it's in a different location because that's where it's going to have the opportunity to do the
yeah,
parkour. But it wasn't done well. I feel like, especially with a movie that had so much done in post and really put a lot of effort into thinking about the choreography of these scenes, and this being a like pillar of the entirety of what they were shooting.
yeah,
I feel like they didn't do a good job with that. I feel like it could have been done better.
yeah. And Jimmy 2 dies in the bus, and then he runs away, and Jimmy tells him, "Oh, you gotta go to this guy, and he's got this like solar charge in his chest. You
Yeah,
need to get
yeah,
it." Then the guy comes with the flamethrower.
yeah. Oh, fucking how stupid was that? And by the way, he was supposed to have like 30 minutes of life and was alive for like 2 hours.
Cause
So fuck. A
no,
couple
he
times that they
charges
do
up.
this.
He charges
Well,
up.
he charges up, but after like 2 hours of being alive.
The movie's not for 2 hours.
Fuck you. Fuck you. No, that bothered me. And this is a continuity area that pisses me off just like really specifically. And this is something I complained about in time. If you're going to introduce the concept of a timeline, like a deadline, like an alarm counting down,
Yeah,
you've got to respect that.
that.
You can't give me a 30-minute timeline and then pack half a day's worth of events and
Yeah.
like a 10-minute chase scene
Yeah.
as a fraction of those events. You just can't do that. It doesn't work, and it completely ruins the believability of the story.
But the solution for that is paying somebody to write, and that would have cost like more money, right? So, for example, like a movie that is, say, name a good movie,
Inception.
Inception.
They
right?
use time in that movie.
Right. So when they have a story, they also need to have a person who's always on set, kind of like a I don't know the exact word, but kind of like a showrunner who's making sure that not only are we sticking while shooting to the story, but also when we finish the final product. Because oftentimes what happens is they would have added all those blanks that we feel, and oftentimes they do. But between like all the edits they make, between like, oh, I need to like add more information somewhere else, combined with like obviously creator differences between like the person who's shot it versus the director versus the producer, versus who's paying for it. So I think those issues get solved, and it's very evidently in this movie. Like those issues, I agree with you, are, and it is something that really like is annoying to pretty significant amount. But I always told myself, like a video game, you know. And once I put myself in that frame, like, oh, if I, it's like going on YouTube and doing like a, video game playthrough, where you just watch somebody else like play a video game. now this is just in like real life graphics, and so it has the same like issues of like, oh, how did he get here? Because when he gets away from the guy with the flamethrower, he gets on his phone and immediately cuts off to him in front of like a building, which is like the brothel where he goes and fights the guy,
I was okay with that. Go
right?
on.
And then he does like that climbing scene. So yeah, those points are there, and I think the best solution to get over those humps of like having this discontinuity is having more people involved in the process. And when you have more eyes, so you have like better quality checks.
Well, sure, and I really like I like and I agree with what you say about the kind of reverse engineering of it all, right? And if you have the concept, oh, these would be, especially with a movie like this, you're
Yeah.
thinking about it more of like, how can we make this really cool? Like we have this
Yeah.
idea, we want a ton of fight scenes, we want a ton of chase scenes. Obviously, we need to kind of throw some form of storyline there to
Yeah.
connect it all together.
They released a video in 2014 called Bad Motherfucker. Uh, it's really great. I do suggest you guys go look at it. And then this movie will make a lot more sense. Because that music video is just sorry, not O. Henry, Hardcore Henry
Yeah.
for like a minute and a half.
Yeah, cool.
And it's super
So kind of
nice.
like proof of concept, give us funding. Yeah,
Exactly. And
let
they
us
raised like
explore more
two
with
hundred
this.
and fifty thousand
Thousand off of it.
out of it.
Sweet.
Combined some personal, and it's his band, like Biting Elbows. It's Ilya's band.
You should have
that
stuck to music.
Yeah, right.
But I wanna pick on something that you said, which is the way that you deal with that is like just add more people and have a better story and have more coordination, have more thought. But and yes,
Yeah.
right. And when you have a bigger budget, when you have a different timeline, but also part of it is just paying attention, right? I feel
Yeah.
like i- if you end up with a product that has that glaring of a hole, like as glaring of a hole as your person should be dead right now,
Yeah.
then you kind of have to fix that. Like, then your product is unfinished. Like, you can't
Yeah.
really just, like, I can deal with a change in, I can deal with that random cut switching to a different location because it allows you to create the art. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But if you end up making a product and then like you're instituting a 30-minute timeline in this situation, it's like you're showing me a set of sequences that would absolutely 100% of the time take more than 30 minutes. And you've introduced pretty much the only concept in the movie.
Yeah.
He would be dead. It ruins the entire plot
Yeah.
line. And so like I feel like when I say paying attention, I feel like you have to make then a different decision about your art. You have to cut out a scene. You have to just change 30 minutes to an hour. Like
Yeah.
go back and film that one scene. Change the concept a little bit. I feel like you can resolve that with paying attention to it.
Yeah. I don't mind it at all.
Yeah, it doesn't bother you?
I've been actually thinking.
Bothers the shit out of me.
Yeah. Puts you through the roof.
It's like this shit. I hate it as
Nice.
much.
Yeah. Only if you think I'll stop giving you bad movies and stop snailing you.
I would watch Watson and Holmes 6 times
Yeah.
in a row
before watching
watching
this.
a third of this again. Oh,
Yeah.
fuck. Anyway, what were you going to say?
The best way how you can explain it to somebody is kind of the idea of the difference between a movie and a film. A film, I imagine, is something that's a lot more well-rounded. It's checks all the boxes that it will have no continuity errors. It's gonna have amazing job by the different faculties of film that come and make it, like the hair and dressing, the makeup, the clothes department, the camera, the lighting, the director, the producer, the writer. They're all working kind of not only together, but they're all working with the same goal.
of refinement, and I feel like refinement for the sake of a story rather than entertainment.
Yeah,
For film versus
exactly.
movie, yeah,
Yeah.
and so that's fair.
Right.
And this is a
Right.
movie.
Yeah, whenever I see like these like big chunks that are like missing, is like a film is being made with the idea like, okay, this is the project I'm gonna make, and I'm gonna make it exactly like this and the best way I can. Versus a movie is, I have an idea and I just want to make this, and yeah, see what I can do with it.
Yeah, I think and sometimes they turn into sometimes they become films like Memento. I watched recently with Mike, and I feel like
Yeah.
that's a movie where they're playing a really risky concept, and I think it was Christopher Nolan, and it turns into a film. It
Is
turns into like
Memento Tom Cruise?
no, Memento is I don't know the actor's name, but it's the one that's told in reverse in like 30 to 45 second segments.
Oh,
Have you
sick.
ever seen it?
No, no.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
so cool. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And so you get 45 seconds of story. And then the story cuts out and it goes and plays the 45 seconds before that. And so you kind of watch the movie because he has the whole thing is he has short-term memory loss. And so he's trying to piece things together. And it was a really really fun little movie. Watching it the second time around, but also like I don't consider like the Avengers a film. I consider
Yeah,
the Avengers
a
a
movie.
movie. Um,
But
I had a question for you, which was. You were making a comment of like, you know, they go into this, they're making a movie, they have this concept, and you know they want to put together
yeah.
and they want to create a thing. And what do you? One of the questions that I was going to ask you was like, what do you think would have made this work? Like, what do you? Because I think they did it, but I think it had a lot of flaws, and I wasn't happy with the product. I
Yeah.
didn't enjoy watching it for most of it. I had to stop it. I couldn't finish it. What do you think would have been a better way for them to do this movie? Fair.
I just like watching sci-fi films more because it's kind of like an escape.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
And anything's possible.
and then, and
I like
yeah, I
worlds where
like that,
anything's
and that's why I
possible.
also like superhero movies because I hate like I don't want to say hate, but I'm just like whenever I look at the world as a whole, I feel like there's parts that are not great, and the parts that are not great, it's like it's not something I can change. So that feeling of like helplessness when you see like all the things like war, politics, all these things happening around the world, and if you know, if I watch that, it's just depressing because like if you watch like the news also, right? Like the news makes money by more people watching news. So for them, it's better to always have more controversial stuff instead of like, oh hey, this cop saved a life,
Yeah,
right?
very much so. Yeah.
And so even since a kid, like movies has like always been an escape and kind of like a feel good period where like for a little bit of time I can just like enter a new world. And that's also why I love binging because then I don't want to escape this world without finally finishing it. So when I first started Star Wars,
Interesting.
the plan was to like, okay, I'll watch like this Clone Wars show that has been going around, and I've started watching it. And the first 6 episodes, terrible. Like it's got like this really old animation. It feels icky. There's no blood spill. It's like a kids TV show. But after the 6th episode, you start seeing past the flaws, and then you start looking for good things, and you find like, holy shit, this old ass TV show has had the best lightsaber battles that even the new Star Wars movie didn't have. Or the camera angles that they're choosing for a VFX or like animated film or animated series, it's just so nice. And this is being doing something like, you know, in the 2000s, and then you're struggling to have like nice captivating camera angles and fadeaways in the modern day cinema. So I do like going back, and I think I do kind of enjoy like those older movies. But movies in general, I look for stuff that's not necessarily lighthearted, but uh, I prefer when it's like not real. Like I love when there's just like a premise and then it's like okay, I'm just gonna make a story and try and build something out of this premise.
Hmm.
So when I saw this movie first, it was probably like almost a decade ago.
This one?
This one,
It came out, yeah, around that
right?
2014, 2015.
And I was in the hostel, and I was like, "Cool, I'm gonna watch this movie." And when I first saw it, I was like, "This is shit,"
Hmm.
because there's like nothing here. But the second time I watched it, I kind of took away the idea like, "Oh, this has to be like a perfect picture,"
Hmm.
and I think this was like the third movie that I'd like done where I watched it, I didn't like it, but then I watched it again and I'm like, oh, when I can take away all these like biases and all these expectations before going in, then it makes it much better. But that being said, it still doesn't mean that oh, it's a great story or a great movie. But for me, I had more fun enjoying the good parts and the
Mm-hmm.
adrenaline rush.
You got it, yeah.
Yeah,
Like at
that's
the
my
end.
third word on Duolingo today. Rush. Yeah, and then it's just more fun, and then it's like cool. Like got something to do. I'm gonna watch it. I had a fun time watching some cool scenes,
Mm-hmm.
stereotypical European humor and actors. And another big thing for me watching movies, because I'm from India, right? So movies were a way for me to learn about people from different parts of the world,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it's like I probably don't think I will end up in Russia anytime soon,
Nope.
right? But when I see an old movie, I can kind of see like, oh, their bosses are kind of the same we have,
Hmm.
right? Oh, this is how people dress up there. This is how they interact. Oh, everybody's kind of minding their own business versus like a shot from like the 2000s movie, like the guy gets on a bus, somebody's reading a newspaper, he'll probably say something,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so those pieces of information are like really fun for me.
Interesting. Did you like Hancock?
Again, not as a film, but yeah, sure, I'll
Yeah,
watch it.
as
Yeah.
a superhero. Well, I like the you were saying something in there about, if you can detract the elements of it that are unrefined, that aren't very quality, if you can separate that from the rest of it and just focus on the things that you enjoy and not like nitpicking,
Yeah.
I can't do that. I can't
Yeah.
do that as much. I sometimes I can, but there's just some things I can't overlook, and this movie had a few of those things
This
that
movie has a lot of those
it
things.
has a lot
Like
of
from the
those
beginning,
things.
like yeah,
What would you change about the way this movie was done to? It was enjoyable, but to make it, I want to say almost like respectable, make it quality, make it something of substance. I feel like they had a really really strong like idea, and I felt like there were things that they did really well with that, but the format that they chose to tell it in, the way they chose to tell it, was very much flawed. And so I think there's a way that they can translate what they did into a way that is consumable, um, in a way that's enjoyable or respectable, way more than they did. What do you think they could change?
adding a second person in the movie. So instead of Estelle being this like wife of Henry, she's also another robot.
Hmm.
And then yeah, you kind of have like both of them going through all these challenges of like
Hmm.
and I think just adding another person with him, a sidekick maybe even.
Mm-hmm. Well,
What I don't know.
they
Yeah,
kind
they
of
give
give
him
him that with the
Jimmy
yeah.
guy, but after he gets like the upload of the new program, then he gets like a little bit more in control. Henry. But leading up to that point, it's just like he's like, I don't know what's going on. I just woke up,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. Well, what do you think? What would make this?
So I had you made a comment about you fix the story and you fix the plot a little bit, right? I really like your idea actually of giving him a partner. I think like they did try to incorporate that, but yet again another avenue they took which they just didn't do very well. I
Yeah.
just don't think they thought it through all that much. But I think had a ton of potential there. I really liked some of what they tried to do with that. I think short films. I think if you break this down into digestible chunks so that
Yeah.
you focus more on the taking 15 minutes of something that's really enjoyable to watch with a kind of continuous
Yeah.
storyline that leads to an inevitable conclusion on episode 8 or something like that. But you don't have to worry about getting caught up on all these little things over the course of an
True.
hour and a half of kind of what is just a very long fight scene.
They could have made it, just like, do you know what vertical series are?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right. So yeah,
Something
make it
like
a
that.
vertical series.
Yeah,
Have
yeah.
like 6 separate missions.
Fucking why not? And because it kind of is like a video game. Like it was right around the time where I don't think it was this scene, but even at the very end when they show up at the building and they've got the cars coming and they've got to fight off all these people, it's like that is a chapter out of a fucking video game, 100%. Or just the changes of environments. Now all of a sudden he was in a field and he's got the sword and he's fighting off a tank, right? Let that just be its own 15 minutes. That doesn't have to connect to the rest of everything that's going on. And so very much it is like a video game, but when they do a story in a video game, it's 8 different missions, and all that really matters is like the mission itself, and you learn a little bit about the backstory.
Yeah.
Right, it has to connect a little bit, but the story doesn't really matter. Great games will be more story based, but you spend more time like in the story.
He was like very inspired by Call of Duty.
It felt like it.
It was Call of Duty, especially that scene, and I already want to apologize to you for this. That final scene where you have Akan just kind of bent over, bleeding Henry, and you just see his face and hair flying. Towards the end when Akan comes and beats up Henry, and then he's just on the floor, and then Akan gets really close to him, and you just see him like kind of in the background, like his face up close to Henry.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right? And so he's just giving his monologue then.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's exactly out of Call of Duty.
When they're
I think it's
lying
like-
on the ground, before he shoots Ghost like outside of the plane.
That or
Yeah.
one where, like when you hunt Makarov down and he's in that building.
I don't know if I remember that storyline as much, but sure.
Yeah, and it's
Sure.
out of that. Also, I think it's Half-Life.
I was thinking Far Cry, but does Half-Life have elements of that?
No, Ilya was inspired by Half-Life.
Was he? Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
It's,
Yeah. I don't know much about Half-Life as a game.
Yeah, me neither. But I've seen like a lot of it would show up on Twitch a lot.
Yeah.
That a lot of people would be like
Yeah, we're
playing
comparing. I'm gonna look up
Half-Life.
portions. I think one thing that they should have changed was the villain you can have fine. I really like a villain that is relatable, who has like a mission that you because of your empathy you would never choose to be that villain, but you can actually relate with like the meaning behind their decisions. Like Thanos was a really good example of this,
Yeah.
of someone who's just like, look, we have a problem. We're killing ourselves because of greed. We're running out of resources. There's too many people, overpopulation. The best way to solve that is we just wipe out half the population, unbiased, rich, poor, we all die, we're all the same, and then that gives everyone who survives enough to continue and thrive. And it was like, that logic was sound,
Yeah.
right? I wouldn't want to be the person killing half the population, but like you could relate to it. So I like a villain that's a little more relatable. This guy was just like, bad guy, like cliche
Yeah.
bad guy, and the dude
Cliche
acting
bad
as
guy.
him was that. Like he was trying so hard to just like he was overacting. He was trying so hard to act as a bad guy. But what they could have changed is the final fight scene. You have this super strong head of this organization as the bad guy, as the villain, who has the power of telekinesis. And then the final fight is just Henry against 50 random dudes like it was the rest of the movie. Why was it not like a one-on-one
Uh,
combat scene with a dude who
they
was...
wanted to add the Matrix 2 effect.
I never saw Matrix 2.
Thank you for watching.
Next week on What's Behind the Scenes.
No, oh shit, okay. But yeah, you guys have seen.
So let me ask you a question then. Do you feel, when you were watching The Matrix,
Yeah.
that it was a believable fight scene?
No,
Okay.
it's not real. It's,
Well, it's...
but the actions they took and the fighting they did, yeah. And to an extent, until like obviously towards the end where they make it like super superficial, where he has like bodies flying over and then he has to jump on those bodies to get to him, right?
How stupid was
Right?
that? I'm sorry. If you're one dude, you're on a rooftop, they just swarm him. Like they pile on you. Don't fight one-on-one. If you've got 4 people you're fighting, maybe. If you've got 200 super soldiers who don't have a sense of self-preservation,
Yeah.
you don't win by climbing up a fucking water tower and taking on people one by one. That's just not how it fucking works.
I just choose not to look at like that deep because
but it's an action movie. It's
it's
but
action.
it's but
then I
but,
can't dictate like it's a robot fighting robots.
No. Yeah, but
It's gonna do something that humans can't do.
but but it's you're making an action movie that's based on fighting. And so you've got to have
But it's a
choreographed
sci-fi.
fight scenes.
It's a sci-
How mad do you get at the Star Troopers because of their aim?
Not at all.
Well, I've never seen Star Wars, so I can't
Yeah,
actually
but-
follow
but-
that
but
up.
I don't
I'm just
get
trying
mad.
to draw on a
Yeah.
conclusion. But it doesn't... okay, wait.
It-
I got
it's
a
it's
different one.
trope.
I got a
Yeah,
different
okay,
one.
go
I got a
on,
different one.
Go on.
Game of Thrones, when the White Walkers are storming them at Winterfell. How much did it bother you every single time that they were swarming one of the main dudes, and
Yeah.
then it cuts away, and then it cuts back, and one of those main dudes is fine
Fine.
because they had plot armor?
Uh,
That doesn't bother you?
no, but because I know.
But they should have died.
Yeah, but they need to live on for the story to continue.
But then don't put them
He's
in
the
that
guy.
situation.
No, but he's the guy. He's the guy you've been watching for like an hour and a half.
Okay, but
And
then
now
don't put
he's
them in
not
that
gonna
situation.
get beaten up.
But it's like
Why not? It's cooler.
Well, no, because then because it's not believable. You can't have.
But why do you have to? But that's because.
Why does it have to be believable? Because it
Yeah.
has. It's you're telling a story,
So,
and a story
a
is
sci-fi
one thing.
story.
Yeah, but no, I disagree.
a sci-fi story?
Sci-fi, no. You're allowed to change. You're allowed to change the laws of physics. You're allowed to change the environment. You're allowed to change people's abilities. You're allowed to incorporate magic
you
and shit.
can create
but
your own
you
logic
can't.
in sci-fi.
You
don't-
Yeah, when it means people can morph through walls, sure.
No, you can have one guy who beats everybody.
Okay,
Right.
fine. But if from a strategic standpoint, you cannot be in a horde of zombies without any form of protection. And I'm going to
Yeah,
come back to
yeah,
hardcore head.
yeah.
Without any form of protection, you cannot be in a horde of zombies and survive. You just
But when that
don't.
character survives, I find it so much cooler and so much more enjoyable if the person was like, "Oh, I have to be super realistic with this."
If the way that they survived is believable. So, for example, Supernatural. Supernatural.
The show?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Okay. Well, it went on for 9 seasons, and it should have only gone on for 6. And the reason I actually think it went on for like 13 or 14 seasons. But the reason I had a problem with that at the end, do you know anything about it?
Mm, it's got supernatural powers.
Sure. So you've got two brothers, and they're essentially like demon hunters, and so like everything from Bloody Mary and ghosts and ghouls and possession, all that's kind of real,
Yeah.
right? And so every episode, it's got a pretty strong like background story, and the exposition of the
Yeah.
characters is really strong. But pretty much every episode, it's like a case by case show, like they do with House, where they go to a town, they read the local newspapers, and they see someone is missing, and they're like, oh, it's because of a demon, right? So
Yeah.
now they have to track down the demon and kill them, right? And that's every episode. But every now and then, to add a sense of exhilaration, they put one of the brothers, and it's really only the two of them, they put one of them in a life-threatening situation, okay? Because you have to, right?
Yeah.
They're going in and doing life-threatening things. And then, at the very last second, right before they die, and right before the demon gets them, brother comes out of the back room with a
Saves him.
shotgun,
Yeah.
shaves him, right? Fine. Believable. Okay, a little bit like, I don't know if you would have gotten there in
Yeah.
time, but okay. But then they do that 35 times over the course of the next few seasons. I got tired of it. But even in those situations, it's at least kind of believable. The reason why I think logic has to apply, it's like when we were talking about In Time. You're telling a story. The story doesn't have to be strong. The villain doesn't have to be relatable. But one thing happening does have to explain the next thing happening. You can't just ignore logic. You
You
can't.
can, and that's like the point of like creating. It's fiction. It's not real, right? So when you're already creating something not real, wouldn't you want it to make it as cool as possible? And if
but I'm
making that
okay with
cool as
that.
possible, right? Like him fighting with the sword against a tank, that's pretty impossible.
But yeah, but that was believable. Like
Yeah.
it was a little. But fine. Okay, he's got a sword. There were a couple times where he like gets shot up into the air and stuff like that. Where I'm like, all right. Or like when he blows up the car and it was full of people with a grenade, and then someone flies 50 feet in the air. It's like, okay, that doesn't happen.
And you
but
know what's
fine.
even crazier is they've shot it. It's like the Matrix fight was more CGI. This is all practical. So he's actually gone 1v1 against 200 people at different times. And there are a lot of times, it's like when you see Taken, right?
Yeah.
Liam Neeson.
Yeah.
He doesn't get hit at all throughout the movie. Do you ever feel like an old man fighting a crime like this will never get hit?
Well, so
then-
and I would have, but and so yeah, like if I'm gonna watch that movie, like I know sometimes you don't like those movies because there's just too much plot armor. It's like
Yeah.
he's gonna be safe the whole way
Yeah.
through, right? It's one of the reasons why I don't like John
I
Wick.
still like Taken, by the way.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah, I love Taken. I love Liam Neeson. Too.
And so these one guy versus them all, it's like but they put them in situations where it's like the reason that they get out of them is because their training allowed them to survive and overcome the adversity in front of them theoretically. It's all very unbelievable. It's all a little far-fetched, and it's all a little like he should have been shot.
But he's
right?
also a robot.
But or also in a movie like Nobody, he gets hit a lot, right?
Yeah.
Totally okay. And I appreciate when they do that. But
I think also made by Ilya.
no, really?
Yeah, I think so. Can you confirm that?
Can we verify that?
Was it him who made Nobody? I think so.
I want to look up his movies. And then I'm going to come back to this rant because
Yeah, Nobody.
did he really?
Right? I think when you're focusing or being so focused on logic, I can't relate with that.
I want to come back. No, I disagree, and I'm thinking about it. Liam Neeson is allowed, and I think he does in some ways. He sprains an ankle or whatever the fuck. But he's allowed to not get hit because theoretically his training has allowed him to
At that
always
age,
survive.
and go fight with like strong terrorist looking guys.
And okay, well he's that good. Like that's the sci-fi. You've got someone
Yeah.
who is so expertise. He is allowed to do that, and
Yeah.
that's why we're following this
Yeah.
story,
But
right?
you see, for me, my only point to that is I'm not even questioning it, why he's doing that. I'm not questioning the logic of how he's saving that. I'm not care about the logic in there. What I'm care about is, does he get his daughter or not? What he does, how he jumps off like a bridge onto a boat and doesn't break anything.
I hate that shit. I
Right,
hate that shit.
right. So
But okay, but sure. So when you watch these
yeah,
movies, there has to be an allowable amount of disbelief, right? You have to
but
suspend
that's
belief to a
personal.
certain degree.
I think that's personal.
Well,
Right. It's like, why do people prefer watching animes over like watching like regular TV shows? Because then it allows them to go into a much more, unrealistic world, and then you have much more super, non-human abilities that you can practice and do. But at the
and
end,
we also, but we had commentary. Sorry, go on.
all those characters are still humans. If I was like, oh well, why can Ang fly?
Because he
Right,
control the. Don't you
right,
dare come at fucking
right.
Ang.
How can he control air,
We
man?
don't. We don't.
Right.
We don't talk shit about Avatar: The
So,
Last Airbender. But we did. We did on a previous episode. We spoke about that, and we spoke about the fact that it's harder to actually connect to animes, even though they're portraying humans, because it's just not the same. It is
Yeah.
a different world, and so it's hard to
It's not
fully
tangible.
relate. The reason why I say like logic has to be respected to a degree is because it, your story has to fucking make sense. I'm sorry, you can't be in a horde of zombies, and the way that the person solves that is you cut away and you come back and they're okay. You have to have an explanation for how they got out of that situation.
Yeah.
You just the explanation can't be plot armor. If they can't die, you don't put them in that precarious of a situation, or you give them a reasonable enough way to get out of it, like they do in Supernatural. When I watch this fucking movie, and it's him versus 200 super soldiers without any level of self-preservation, and he's surrounded by them, and he's taking them on one at a time, there's a really simple way to stop Henry in this situation. And it's any of those fucking people attack him more than one at a time.
But so is Batman. You can defeat Batman. You see Batman fighting. He's always like fighting one, then fighting two, then fighting three, and then three. But when you
But
go
he's never fighting 40 because they know not to put him in that situation.
Yeah,
because he doesn't. No one gets out of that situation.
because he's not gonna be in that situation.
Well, exactly.
Right.
Okay. But if he was,
not,
what
not,
should happen?
Not because it is logical. Because his thing as Batman is gadgets. He's not somebody. He's not like Superman. When we see like.
Well, he knows how to use his training to avoid those situations, just like Liam Neeson in Taken. That's what I'm saying. It
But
doesn't.
Liam Neeson is not avoiding those situations. He's going head on, fist first, against everybody.
Yeah, but he's also sneaking about and like kind of taking on people one by one. I haven't seen Taken in like 5-6 years,
Fair.
but he'll sneak on a boat. He'll kill a guy one by one when he can. There's never more than like 2 or 3 people that he has to fight off at once. And you know what? An experienced person, 40 years of experience, yeah, it makes sense that he can get out of that. But again, it's really simple. If you put someone in this situation and it just okay, so I'll put it. This is why I have a problem, because if you're gonna put them in this situation, and I as a viewer am saying, how do you stop Henry? And the answer is right in front of me, which is, well, they just swarm him, and then he's stopped. That would have happened, right? When it's, well, the dude with the telekinesis just takes Henry and then throws him off the roof. It's like, that would have happened in any you're telling a story in a sci-fi world where
Yeah.
anything can happen, but these people are making logical decisions.
It wouldn't get, you know, 10 out of 10 or 8 out of 10, obviously, because it's not touching those points. But when you're watching it and you're focused and you're looking for logic in a place where there isn't supposed to be logic, it's sci-fi. It's about this guy who's going through these crazy things and he's doing it all. So coming to a point where he's now faced with like 50 other robots or like 200 other robots, I expect him to do that. I get hyped up when he comes against an obstacle out there where I feel, well, humanly, in my logical head, there is no way out of this. This is stupid. This is crazy. But then he finds a way and overcomes it.
But, 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 what you said is actually something that I wanted to put in my rant, which is I get really excited when I'm watching a movie. You've got your guy in a situation that it's like and you're thinking, how the fuck are they gonna get out of this one? But then they do. But they do it because they're crafty, because they're capable, because of someone coming back to life or something, someone coming to save them, right?
Yeah.
But it's like, okay,
Yeah.
I can buy that. It shouldn't just be because we can't kill them.
I think it's more about, like, especially with the scene of like him fighting all these people on the roof. I don't think, yeah, I don't see the logic point here.
He doesn't win the fight. He doesn't win the fight
Yeah.
because the people fighting against him didn't fight in the way that they would have.
Yeah, sure, but they were
So it's
designed
not
to
a
fight.
believable fight. It's bullshit.
Huh?
It's all bullshit.
Well,
it's poorly
not
done. It's
He-
poorly
he-
decided.
But he did fight them.
Yeah, but he
Right?
fought them, but they didn't fight him. There's a
Yeah.
really easy way
But
to
that's-
stop Henry that they don't do.
But that's the thing. It's like when you have a person who's good and you've been rooting for him the whole movie, they're not gonna put you they can't end the movie on a rush level lower than other parts of the movie, so they have to hit it like really high.
Well, fucking
Right.
be mindful of that. Go
Right.
on.
Secondly, 200 people, when you see like a scene like that, every human who sees that scene is like, bro, if I was here, I would be fucked. And you would imagine that anybody who would be here would be fucked. But if you're looking for logic, he's the robot. You're not a robot. A robot can do things humans cannot do, and he did it.
And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I am okay with him throwing people through walls with one hand. I'm okay with him jumping 20 feet in the air. I'm okay with him doing having outrageous fighting abilities or anything. What I'm not okay with is if I'm 50 people surrounding one person and I have one prerogative, which is stop him.
Yeah.
I have no sense of self-preservation. There's only one decision I make, which is jump on top of them. And if there are 50 of me to do that, the one person, you don't get out of that. Henry doesn't get out of that situation because they just have to jump
But
on
he
him.
does. And
But
that's,
he does because they don't fight him. And I have a problem with that. And to your point of then you need to have a higher peak than the rest of the movie. Well, one of the things that I mentioned earlier is that the final fight scene is really just a continuation of all the other fight scenes that we've seen. It should have been a one-on-one with the guy of telekinesis. Or you should have had better planning as the person. Again, I'm ranting around why I think they around the decisions I think they failed to make correctly or intelligently in the creation of this film, and I think this is a really big flaw.
which is fair, 100%. I don't see it that way at all.
That's why you liked it and I didn't.
Yeah, and we'll leave it up to the audience. You
It's
know?
okay to disagree
yeah.
with your friends,
and it's
even
actually
when they're wrong.
It's actually healthier.
It's
Right? He knows
healthier.
he's wrong.
I fucking hate that. Oh man, I'm
but-
gonna choose such a bad fucking movie next week.
Yeah, get in our comments. Tell us like,
Yeah.
because
Who's right?
I can see and I understand that you look for logical sense and why the scene proceeded that way, and if that logical thing is not there, then that scene doesn't really fit in there.
And it stops and yeah, I think like to your point, I'm okay with Wolverine or any of these people getting through, but I want it to be well done, right?
Yeah.
And I want like for there were a couple times in that fight scene that I thought they did really well, which is when Henry puts himself in a really small confined space so
Yeah.
he's allowed to fight people one on one. That was a really intelligent decision. They tried to develop that fight scene in
Yeah.
ways where he placed himself in defendable positions. He climbs the water tower so he can take people on one. He puts himself in a room so he can take people one on one,
One-on-one.
and he has a shotgun.
Yeah.
He puts himself in this small space. That's all good. But as soon as you allow him to be in the middle of 50 people, it loses that sense of believability. And I'm okay with the hero and the protagonist surviving, but just like within time, I'm okay with having any ridiculous story or concept, but for the entire concept to crumble to ash with a slight misstep in logic,
Logic.
it ruins it for me.
Action movie cinema is based around the logic where this guy is kind of, undefeated. And it always starts with like the first time he gets his ass beaten, and then he'll go back, practice, train, and come back and is strong now. But whenever it's like, especially like a sci fi film where I try to, I don't know, like, not, at least when I'm watching the movie, I am not allowing reality of my world affect the reality in the other world, right? Because even if it's like a sci-fi concept on Earth, I will still be like, this is a movie. It's allowed some room, but at the end of it, I do agree, and that's why movies only get those high scores. And when people saw Game of Thrones, they did see that. It like, no, you have like all these like dragons and zombies all around. Like people were like on the wall being crushed, and then yeah, they got saved. But you can also choose to be like, oh man, they were so close to dying and they got saved,
How?
and that was time.
How did they get saved? How
They
did they
just
get
did.
saved?
They just did,
Not gonna-
right?
See, but okay.
Right.
Well,
And you can still be like, no, that is a plot hole, but
it's
allow it.
I just can't. But what I can do is this. I think
Just don't bring it up in front of me again. I'm just kidding.
I'm not gonna let the fact that the plant in Wally should have died ruin Wally. I'm not gonna let the fact that fire extinguishers don't have that much fuel ruin that scene.
True.
Right? I'm gonna just enjoy it because I feel like it earned that. But when there is flaw after flaw after flaw after flaw after flaw, and then the climax has a very glaring flaw, I'll be a little more critical of it. But I do actually, I respect and I kind of envy the way that you approach it, because I think it allows you to enjoy something like this in a way that I would like to enjoy it, but I just can't get past it. Now, with that being said, so I'll leave it with that.
Do you want to guess the score of the movie?
I wanted to. Do you
gonna
want
love
to
it.
guess what I'm gonna rate the movie? So the
Rotten
popcorn
Tomatoes?
popcorn was 55 was audience score,
Audience.
and
Nice.
the critics gave it a 51,
51.
which
Well,
I'm
50 on
very
average.
surprised by.
Yeah.
I would have guessed 1742. 17
70
critic.
and 82?
I would have said no. I would have said 17 critic, 42 audience.
Yeah.
But you know what I did when I looked online? The reviews of it, people's reviews of this film were largely positive.
It made like 10 times, more than 10
Yeah.
times. It's
8x,
what-
8x.
Yeah, 8x.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
true.
8x its money, which is the best
Yeah.
film we've watched
Yeah,
so far. In
right?
terms
For a
of,
cost too, because it's like
Yeah.
you take 16 50% goes to like showings and the theaters and all,
Yeah.
right? So that's like 8 left for
Yeah.
2 million, $6 million
Yeah.
profit.
Yeah.
That's a good movie. Um, yeah, I mean, the idea of coming up with a POV movie outside of porn, I think is a risk, right? I don't think I've seen any other POV movies or know of. Do you?
Yeah, so there were a few. I looked these. I looked this up. There was the first one was in 1947. I think it was
1940s.
Lady in the
Wow.
Lake is what it was called. I watched the trailer. And the trailer actually looks kind of cool. It's like you're a it's a black and white movie, and it's the POV of you as like a detective, and
Hmm.
so you're kind of like trying to solve this mystery. That's about what I got out of it. And then I saw another one which was called Maniac, which was an Elijah Wood film made a few years ago, and you follow his POV, and he's a psychopath. He's a serial killer,
Hmm.
and I thought that was a really
Really
cool
cool.
concept. So when I first learned about Hardcore Henry,
Yeah.
I thought it was the first time they had done this, and
Yeah.
I thought that up until earlier today when I learned that about the other
Uh,
POV movies. So yeah, I think to your comment, like deciding to do a POV movie, coming up with it, doing it in this format, no one had done like an action
yeah. Like
movie yet.
GoPro, all GoPros. I imagine in 1947.
They didn't have GoPros.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, India got its independence that year.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
No kidding.
From you know who. But it's like I'm just imagining how they would have set up a rig to shoot the whole movie POV and what kind of like hack they would have used.
They just used it was just like camera. Like they just used
Yeah.
it as walking around
But
in
like
camera.
1947, they used to have like big ass cameras. Is it just like a
Yeah.
camera who's
Yeah.
kind of in front of a person who's just walking?
Yeah, I think they just like from I saw 2 minutes of a
Mm-hmm.
trailer, but it was kind of just like almost in a way where it's like breaking the fourth wall. Like the actors around them are looking at the camera when they're speaking to them, and it
Oh,
felt like a lot of the scenes that they were shooting.
yeah.
It was really just like shooting as you would with a normal camera. But there was like one scene where they added in the shadow of a person, and so I thought it was interesting how
Ah.
they might have done that. They also added like he was looking at a mirror, but
Ah.
the rest of the mirror was like blurred out. It was like a mirror with gunshots in it, so
Oh.
they didn't actually have the technology, I think, to do it. But
Oh.
so I
Yeah.
don't think it was very advanced. It didn't strike me as that. I thought the camera work is something that we should talk about because I mean
Mm-hmm.
that is the movie, right?
Yeah.
So there were some areas where I felt like camera work provided a lot of unique pros for the viewing experience and what they were allowed to do. I
Mm-hmm.
think like action is a really is a cool way to do it,
Right?
right?
Yeah. You feel like I'm the one who's like kind of jumping these walls and like kind of doing these scenes. And yeah, I think action is one of the pitch perfect options to go POV on.
Yeah.
Right?
Imagine doing this on like an Apple Vision Pro.
Apple.
Yeah. Well,
Whoa.
and you know what? We'll start to see movies like that. I'm sure we'll see more
You
of
know
these in the
that
future.
that's exactly what I
Yeah.
was thinking about. It's
Yeah.
like where you would kind of like just download a movie on your chip in your head, and then you can kind of every time you watch it, you can choose which character you want to be.
Well, they have that. Oh man, that'd be fucking sick.
Right?
Yeah. They kind of have that with like Bandersnatch, where you're choosing different storylines,
Yeah, but
different
that's
advances.
well, I think there's a word for it. It's like
Choose your own ending type of.
yeah, it's like you making decisions, but
Yeah.
this would just be like you're a viewer.
Yeah. So there's another movie. I'm not gonna be able to remember what it was, but it's kind of like you're watching you learn about different storylines independently, and they kind of all come together in the end to tell one really crazy story, and they seem like completely unrelated for most of the movie, and then there's like a singular event that connects them, and it's just like, and they've tried this a few times in a few different movies, and the ones that I know of I think are really highly regarded. I haven't watched any of them in full. So maybe we can try something for this, because we had a really long bitch fest, but I think what would be cool is if we try and mention some of the pros that we think and we go back and forth, the pros we thought the POV camera created, and some of the cons and the drawbacks of it.
Drawback. The biggest pro was, yeah, just looked cool as hell.
Look cool as hell.
You know,
Yeah.
like I wrote down the tank scene with the sword as one of my favorite scenes on there,
Yeah.
because that is so much like what kids call aura farming these days.
Aura farming.
Yeah. Right. And it's just like the whole time you have this like rush inside you, like, oh my god, this is happening, this is happening, oh my god, flamethrower, hell yeah. And yeah, it touches like it's a video game. So for me, it was like super fun because I was like, okay, I don't usually sit down and watch streamers play, but I have like if I don't want to buy a game, like I'll just download or go on YouTube and watch the playthrough. Because it's like
Do you? I never do that.
right? Like I did that for like I saw a lot of like playthrough for Hogwarts.
Oh, you should have played Legacy.
But then after I did like all those playthrough, I was like, well, it's fine. It's like I get a bunch of spells, and then I get my experience out of it, and then kind of gauge like if I know that I might buy this game, then I'm not gonna do it because then it's gonna spoil it for me.
That's interesting though. For that game specifically, like just the first-hand experience of being a student at Hogwarts, that didn't get you.
No,
No, you didn't
it
care
was
as
like
much?
I would enjoy this literally for like 2 days, and then I'm
Yeah.
gonna be like boring.
Yeah. Oh man, it was so cool. It wasn't a hard enough game. I
Yeah.
thought the difficulty wasn't high enough, but
Yeah.
the world building in that game was really.
It
and
was really
Hogwarts
cool, and like obviously, Harry Potter, super fan of Harry Potter.
Yeah,
Not Star Wars.
same. Me too. Yeah,
Harry
okay,
Potter.
interesting. Yeah,
Harry
yeah,
Potter.
yeah.
I love Harry Potter
love
way
Harry
more
Potter.
than I love Star Wars.
Yeah. What was your favorite one? Favorite Harry Potter?
Me, I would want to say the Chamber of Secrets or
Wow, really?
Order of the Phoenix.
Yeah, that's when he's going with Dumbledore to find the like.
No, sorry, I meant to say Goblet of Fire. The fourth
Oh
one.
yeah, the
The
challenge.
Triwizard
Yeah, the trials.
tournaments.
Yeah,
Voldemort
yeah.
comes back. You get to see Harry and Voldemort duel. It's kind of got like all the best parts of all the movies in a way,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You get a little bit of Sirius Black. You have like Robert Patterson. Just like good storyline, different schools, different more about the universe that you saw in the book.
Yeah, life threatening. Harry's
Yeah.
older for like the
Yeah.
first time, really, and so it's a little more adult.
They made the sixth part Half-Blood Prince, and then they realized that we can't rush into this. So when they came out with Deathly Hallows, they were one of the first few ones to start the trend of doing part 1 and part 2.
Were they really? Okay,
Yeah.
interesting and stretching. Yeah. And you know what I actually really like part 1, part 2 breakups, because I feel like it also like I mean. I don't like when they do it because it's a money grab, but I feel like for a movie like that, like
Yeah.
Hunger Games probably shouldn't have been too,
True.
right? I feel like the third one was just like not very good, and it felt like they were extending it for the sake of a money grab, but yeah, I really like when they extend.
Right? I think it's cool because you get to just see more of it. But when it started there, from being like, like what Tom Cruise did with his Mission Impossible last one, he made it 1 and 2. But when Tom Cruise does it, he's not doing it that he wants more money from people. He's doing it so he can give people the best cinematic experience.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
And that's what matters. Now it's just like studios are money grabbers, and they're like, oh, you know what? Let's just make our TV shows also part 1, part 2.
Oh God, don't.
So we'll only give them like 3 episodes, and then wait for another 3. Whereas
Oh, I
earlier,
hate that
you used
shit.
to have like
Well,
24
Invincible does that.
episodes,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I mean,
But you know what? If it's good episodes like Arcane, they're
yeah.
allowed to.
But again, with Arcane, I waited for it to come out.
Yeah.
Back to my thing of like I
Yeah.
like to binge.
And just watch the whole thing. Yeah, I
Gotta
agree.
go.
And you know what? I still haven't finished the second season because they broke it
Yeah.
up. Yeah.
I
Yeah, so I
always
gotta
hate
go.
that because then when I go like okay, so now Stranger Things is coming out this year in November,
Fun.
right? So every time Stranger Things comes out, the first thing I do a month ago is rewatch
Rewatch
everything.
it,
So
yeah.
now I'm like hooked on. I'm in it. I love the
When's
characters.
it coming out?
November.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna come out in November. Then they're gonna come out the second part in December, and the final episode on I think 31st December.
December?
Yeah,
Cool.
New Year's. I
Okay.
think.
Okay.
Uh,
I'm okay with that. How do you feel about how shaky it was throughout the
shaky.
film? Because there's a lot of shaky cam when he's running and he's fighting and
Yeah.
spinning. And
Here it adds more to the experience because it's like
Interesting.
you know when you're like getting hit, it gets
yeah,
right,
yeah,
or
yeah,
him
yeah.
like falling from like when he first falls from the bridge onto the top of the car.
Oh, that was an awesome. Yeah,
Right, and
I
it's like-
loved that. Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
And
yeah.
so that
yeah,
shakiness, I think, adds a little bit more. Have you seen Paranormal Activity?
Yeah.
The first movie is entirely shot on a handheld camera.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So it's really cool, and even movies do that a lot. If you notice, it's like, and you'll notice that the cameras they're shooting on are handheld, where you'll see them kind of like move.
Oh yeah, like a found footage film.
Found footage.
Found footage is something like Paranormal Activity or like Cloverfield, where it's like, oh, this happened, they died, and we found their
Found
their
footage.
footage.
No,
Yeah.
in general, regular movies.
They've started
yeah.
doing that more. Yeah.
Yeah, like even like Oppenheimer and all, right? It's very rarely actually do you find that everything is still. There are some directors who do it, and you'll see like they'll have like the environment is still, and the character will just walk in and exit the scene. But in most cases, especially when it's like two people talking and the person is obviously handheld, so you have the regular human shake.
Yeah.
Unless they add like a stabilizer.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
what did you feel about the? Shake?
Well, I thought it was something that it's kind of unavoidable, right?
Yeah.
In this format, I like what you say. It almost makes it feel more engaging as a viewer, right? And I felt like it never lasted too long, except for a couple of the chase scenes. I felt like they balanced the clear images in between the shaky images very, very well. So like I noticed it a number of times, but never so much that it stopped me from being able to enjoy the scene that was being played out. So interesting.
I have a question about the camera shakiness.
Yes.
Do you think this movie will give Mike motion sickness?
It might. Sometimes when there's a lot of spinning, I'll even get dizzy watching a film. That's a really interesting question. I'd like to know. Did you come across anything online of people getting?
No,
having
I
that?
just came up with the question
Yeah.
right now because I was thinking about the shakiness, and I was like, "Oh, that's motion blur." And the next thing in my head was like, "Oh, motion sickness." These are kind of bars, but I'm like, who do I know with motion sickness? I was gonna ask you guys, like, if you have or struggle with motion sickness, do better.
Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah.
Go buy some meclizine and get over it.
Like, a peanut allergy is better than you guys. But if you do, and you're up for the challenge, try watching this movie and let us know if you at any point threw up. You'll throw up without
Repeatedly.
motion sickness too, because it's
Or
pretty bad.
let us know if you just shut it off because it sucked.
Yeah.
So there was that. The parkour I thought was really, really cool.
Yeah.
POV. I thought that was definitely a pro, and I think like we've mentioned a few times, like doing this form of POV as an action movie, I think is a really cool way to go with it. I feel like there was one thing that was really, really poorly done, and I feel like there was one thing that they didn't fully think out to the same degree that they maybe did the shooting. So really poorly done. Henry's reactions, I fucking hated them. Every single time he was pretending to talk and like bringing his hands into the scene, I thought it was completely unbelievable.
Yeah, I agree. It's actually one of my things that I wanted to bring up
Yeah,
to like
what do
be
you
like,
got?
it's
You're gonna. Are you going to say something negative about this film?
yeah, I have so
Oh,
many
happy
times.
days.
Right? Once you've heard it here first. Especially when Jimmy finds out that he's been broadcasting to Akan and they come and attack on the base or the lab. I was like, why? And how much cooler would it be if you're a robot? You have sign language or something, or just better actions.
Well, he wrote easy, so he has
Oh
the
yeah, I guess he
concept of
does
language,
language. Yeah,
right? And I don't. He's not a robot. He's like.
RoboCop.
He's. Yeah, he's like RoboCop, right? So he has the consciousness, he has his memory, he had a memory blocker, but he's been like brought back to life. So I think he's this. He's a well. We're led to believe, and he's led to believe, he is a unique human who has been saved from a disaster or an accident, and he has been, fused with a robot, so he is now a cyborg.
But he's just a cyborg.
But we learn that no, I think he's part human.
We learned that at the end, right?
Yeah, we learn that he's not really Henry. He's not really a unique
because
person in the way
what's
that he's presented to us.
guy, that's what like that's the creation that Jimmy creates, right? Where you can kind of like, is it? No, because he's not using the same technology that Jimmy's using. Because Jimmy using like kind of like a neural link that allows him to control all these other bots.
Yeah.
Uh, but maybe Henry's just one of like bots like that, which is just like not a finished product yet.
Well, isn't every single super soldier like a reanimated corpse?
Uh,
They're not all robots. They're reanimated corpses with like that have been enhanced
I
cybernetically
like that more than all
enhanced.
robot. I like that little bit of that half human
Yeah,
humanoid.
Because they remember all the frozen bodies
Cyborg.
all the different times, and
Yeah.
then they have at the end they have the trash, ton of bodies in trash bags, and like by this time tomorrow they're all gonna be. So they're using people,
Oh, that's my biggest fear, man.
being reanimated and turned into a
Robot.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's your biggest fear.
Yeah, imagine if you get kidnapped and they just like cut out your legs and just like, oh, science project, buddy.
I'd be okay with becoming a robot.
Yeah.
Do I get to keep my mental faculties and
Oh yeah, you love
faculties and
logic,
sense
don't
of
you?
independence? Well, hey, fucking hey. Fuck you. Fuck you. Okay, so I have one more.
Yeah.
Oh, you mentioned it was the one with the horse. Mine when he was
yeah.
trying to ride the horse,
Horse.
and they like make you believe it's gonna, and then the horse just fucks off and he has to walk.
But
I love that.
have you played Red Dead Redemption? Right.
But for the first like hour, and then I stopped.
Okay. Did you struggle with getting on a horse?
No, I think they make it all very easy at the start.
Okay, so
But are
maybe
there a
as
couple
you-
times
as you
where you
go
try
on,
and
yeah, your horse, if you don't feed him, can act crazy.
yeah, they
and
do that in Zelda when you're trying to tame it.
tame it.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry.
and so when you see the horse spawns out of nowhere, right? Defies logic completely,
Yeah.
right? And then he gets on it, and it throws him off. And my first thought in my head was like, bro, I hate this so much. This pissed me off so much because like often on Red Dead Redemption, especially when you're trying to get like a new horse, and you're trying to like just like you'll see him in the wild or something, and you're trying to like tame him and capture him and then make him yours.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll get on him and he just runs away.
He kicks you off. Yeah,
Yeah.
he bucks you off. But I think that's kind of how it happens.
That's exactly how it
Yeah.
happens. I'm just connecting like how cool was it to see the connection
Oh
between
yeah, yeah,
Red Dead
yeah, yeah.
Redemption
Yeah.
and this,
And this,
and it
yeah, yeah,
intensified like my
yeah.
feeling of like this is just a video game.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
Okay, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. For the camera angle, I don't think they took into full consideration was how actors need to change the way they act and change their style and their gestures and their mannerisms because they're being filmed in this angle. And I felt there were a couple times and a couple interactions where it was just like I think it limited or it worsened the actors acting because they were acting for like a different type of format, right? Like the way that you might act in front of a camera would be different than the way that you would act if you were doing a theater or a screenplay or a stage play.
Yeah.
And I felt like no one really understood how to change and manipulate that for this.
Yeah. What's also really cool about acting in this movie is a lot of those scenes in Moscow, like shot in Russia when they're on the street and in the bus, they're all guerrilla filmed.
How do you mean?
So
Tell me there was a gorilla on set. Please tell me they trained a gorilla with a camera.
you didn't see?
I fucking hope so.
Yeah, he was with John Cena the whole
Oh
time.
man, just fucking show me.
Guerrilla filming is like, okay, so when you film, obviously you need to get permits and permissions to get like, oh, I'm gonna block the street, I'm gonna film in this area. They did nothing like that.
Oh, okay. So
They,
I
they
had
just
a feeling that's
trap
where you were
like
going with it.
it's like guerrilla marketing.
Yeah.
You know, just
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
crazy, not like organized, and just guerrilla warfare is where it actually
Yeah,
comes
yeah,
from.
yeah, yeah. That's what I was
You
thinking.
know who?
Can't say that.
No, I mean it's history.
Yeah,
You can't
fair.
change that. But yeah, and I think that was like really cool and makes sense why they were able to make it on like such a small budget because they were like, well, we don't have to pay the government to climb this, like, you know that scene when he climbs onto the brothel. It's like he's climbing a different building and then he opens a door and then he's in a different like location.
Yeah.
So that's like movie magic, or try to be bad movie magic. But yeah, they just had somebody who wore a GoPro and just like a YouTuber you'll see, just climbed up the building.
Very cool. Very
Yeah.
cool. I like that. I was wondering when they were doing it, how much of that they were kind of doing it. It very much felt like that
Like,
because it did feel like a YouTube video for a lot of it.
right. It was less of like a like a cinematic piece more than just like a elongated like a YouTube movie.
Yeah.
You know?
How long did it take to make?
Ooh, that's a good question.
How long
No.
were they shooting for?
I know that one of the scenes in the brothel was the longest, and it took 3 weeks. To
Did it
shoot
really?
Yeah.
No shit.
Because,
That's a pretty long time.
man, it's also like all the gunshots and all the choreography for that whole.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, a lot went into it. Well, the film took 3 years apparently.
3 years.
3
Wow.
years with about a year and a half to shooting. So it was a year and a half and then a year and a half.
Man, post editing would have been such a pain, and I'll be very
can
honest.
imagine.
When I was thinking about starting this podcast, I was very excited and did not account how much effort it would go into like editing and
Yeah.
maintaining. And something happened.
What happened?
Yeah.
Was all the audio gone? Wait, last week was Wally.
My hard drive that had the darkest time.
Mine's.
Darkest. What is the darkest time?
It all got deleted, and
think-
now you're having the darkest time.
Yeah, exactly. And we've had like run into a bunch of issues. We had like one episode where all our electronics just died,
Yeah, terrible.
and so that's never fun.
No.
Then we had where we did in time, and then the video I had on my camera, the camera I got like used like a different format of like the SD card, like the memory card, and so when I used to copy use that SD card to copy the files on my computer, it like won't allow it, and it corrupted the file. So then I had to pay like $30 to this site.
Oh yeah, I remember
They
this. Yeah,
repaired
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Then I had to go and sit down, go frame by frame, and fix each word that we said,
And line up the audio.
and then line up the
Oh.
audio with it. I did that, and then everything was saved in my hard drive. I sat down to start editing for, the Darkest Minds, and then say downloaded the first batch onto my computer, and I was okay. I don't know what happened. I've Googled it, I've chat GP'd it, I have, for a change, prayed to God even. But no, man, it was just so sad for like 2 days. I was just like so pissed and
Yeah.
angry because like the lights going could have been like avoided, but this thing I was just like, I have no control over this, and this really fucks us because we have like 3 episodes with videos and audios that were like ready and just needed to be edited, and then be ready to like share it with you guys.
And they're gone.
And
They
they're
just
gone.
died.
They,
They died
they
into the
gone.
void.
Into the void.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
What movies were they?
It was
Darkest Minds, In Time.
Dark Minds, In Time, and Zombieland.
Ah,
I was really sad about
Zombieland.
Zombieland. Yeah. Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah. It was,
Well, that's a
It
shame.
made me sad.
That's a shame.
But when there is a will, there is a way. I just had the audios for all of them ready. And so what you guys will be seeing is probably just going to be the audios for those episodes. It would have been cool to have the videos because, it always looks nice. We dress up for
Yeah.
it. Even today, we're
Yeah.
Henry
Yeah.
and Russian
Duh.
or Russian.
Duh.
Duh. But yeah, I just wanted to let you know and you guys know.
Yeah. Shit. Well,
It's a learning curve. I'm not at all like, I was disappointed and sad and angry at the world for like 2 days, but the only way is moving forward, and here we are.
yeah, and pay him because he does all the work. I don't do shit. I watch a movie. I type up some notes.
No, he shits on my good movies.
I could do a little more, but he does a lot of the work. So if there's any support you're able to give him some peace of mind and comfort in the time that he's putting in, I'm sure you'll find a way to add a link. I don't do the internet. I'm completely off social media.
Yeah.
I was completely hesitant. I didn't even want to do this podcast for like a month and a half. Or I wanted to do the podcast, but I didn't want to posting stuff on the internet because I just don't like being there. So help him out. Give him comfort and support.
Yeah. Tell us how we can do better.
Appreciation. Tell us how we can do better.
I think that would be
sure.
fun. Just like this movie.
Better movie recommendations.
By
Fucking
this
hated
guy.
this. Damn, that's crazy. So at least losing the video is bad, but at least you didn't edit the 3 videos and then
Yeah.
lose the product.
Yeah.
That would have really pissed me off.
I would have.
I can deal with losing. I mean, it was some of our first few episodes, learning curve. We learned how to do them better.
Yeah.
Maybe in a year we go back and we rewatch Darkest Minds.
But
and-
we don't want to people
do
to
it
think we're
again.
like naturally good at this.
Oh, that's
you
fair.
know,
We're still not.
What are you talking about?
It's the best
Speak
movie
for
podcast
yourself.
in the world.
Well,
What are you
yeah.
talking about? Come on.
Haven't you heard
Come on,
about
that's
us?
crazy. All right.
In the sands.
Well, you know what wasn't the best in the world?
Wait. I have something. Is it Hardcore Henry?
It's Hardcore Henry. I have a fun question. What type of combat do you think they could have added into this movie other than what we saw?
Guerrilla combat. Maybe something underwater.
Oh, sick. Yeah, underwater would have been really cool. I didn't think about that.
You know,
Yeah.
that's something John Wick had, and it was such a cool scene.
Oh, in the pool when they're shooting?
Yeah.
Yeah, and,
And then you
I
see
saw
the
like a
bullet-
scientific breakdown of
Yeah,
that
the
as
bullet
well.
velocity just doesn't allow bullets to like go deep into water.
Yeah.
And so you just, and it's just
Comes
so
close to
clearly,
him, yeah,
and it's
yeah.
like, choo.
Well done. Well
Yeah,
done.
and
that was a
so
very
it was
cool
like
scene.
nice. There were some good scenes that I liked, and dialogues. I think my favorite dialogue was Akan's when they get on the bus where his wife is and he rescues
Mm.
her, and then he's like, "Oh, how sweet! If I could take this moment and put it in tea, I wouldn't need sugar."
Oh, I didn't catch that line, but
Yeah.
that's a pretty good line. That's a cute line.
I think it's
It's cute.
horrific. I
It's
think it's
cute.
scary.
I think it's cute.
And just like his sexual European demeanor with that line, just
Mm.
like
I also like the one where he's shows up. It cuts out right after he finds that guy, and it cuts it over to him, and the Russians are outside of the building, and he goes to light the guy's cigarette. It's just like, what the fuck do you think I have arms for? Favorite scene for me,
yeah,
when the credits started to roll.
yeah. Oh, you say you did make it till the end.
But I think the favorite scene for me was the changing in the subway station. When he runs down the stairs and then passes the cops and then looks at the cops and looks at himself and he's like, "Oh fuck!" But can we,
Just talk about.
You're telling me the cops don't see him walk into her stall? Like he's getting chased.
Yeah,
They're like 4 feet behind him.
yeah.
He walks into this lady's stall, turns around, and the cops just run right by him.
Yeah.
Don't defend it.
No, I won't. I'll just say go back and listen to the first half an hour of our episode, and I would say exactly the same thing. It's like it's a movie. It's there.
But just have him turn a corner first.
No, it's there. Like the cops are not main part of the story. It's
Irrelevant.
and it's like cool. I mean,
It's just.
if that gets you,
But also, what about what about when it's right at the start of the movie when they land and the Russians get out of the car and they're approaching him
Yeah.
and they're like 5 feet away from him and he turns around to look at his wife and she gives him the instruction like, they'll underestimate you, let them get close and then attack.
Oh,
And he
man.
turns around and he's right there. I'm like, come on, like it's so just another flaw.
but he does attack. He does. He doesn't know how strong and how to tap into his like robotic powers. So he does attack two guys, and the third one hits him with the gun, and then he falls down, and then he gets beaten by those guys.
Yeah, well, that was fine, but just the dialogue from the woman telling him, like, it's
Yeah.
just so bullshit. Anyway, it was just poorly done. I think it would have been cool is if they had the cyborgs be, like, trained in specific styles of combat. Right, theoretically, like they're uploading some form of like combat expertise, and
Yeah.
like the British guy, like he's a sniper and he's a hippie dude, and
Yeah.
he's a weird punk guy. What if he was a samurai or a Navy SEAL or like or a martial artist, and they incorporated some type of like different styles of combat.
True.
Based on that, because I feel like they had the ability to, but they didn't really play into
Yeah.
that. You could have made a fucking gorilla cyborg, sure, why not? And throw in some fucking animals there. So
Man
opportunity,
v
but
gorilla.
what'd you say?
Man v gorilla.
Man v gorilla. Yeah, there you go.
Sick.
All right. So are you ready to rate this piece of shit?
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess your ratings. Oh god. It's not even worth my fucking time.
I enjoy you getting so.
I hate it.
boiled.
Let me tell you, the problems I've had with this movie, I've had no problems with the concept. I haven't mentioned a single
Yeah.
flaw with him being able to move into different people's heads and being a cyborg and bringing people back to life, and even the guy having fucking telekinesis. I don't have a problem. By the way, the telekinesis kill at the start when he shows up and
The
he breaks
door.
into the lab and he just... I thought that was a great scene.
It was actually misleading because it made you think this movie would be good.
No, I could tell right off the bat when I was watching the wife try and act that it was not going to be good.
Squash this apple.
I knew that was going to happen too. So, okay, you're going to rate this movie. I'm gonna. You have your two. You have to rate this as a piece of as a whole movie, as as a collective,
Yeah.
or as a cohesive whole. I think you're gonna rate that 6, and I think you're. I should have written these down so I don't inflate. You have your number.
Yeah,
You
I have
have
my
your number. All right,
Yeah.
and I think you're gonna give it a. Are you going just a raw number? You going percentage of 100?
Just a raw number out of 10.
Raw number, no decimals or anything.
No decimals. I
All
don't
right,
believe
and
in
you'll
that.
give the enjoyment. Ooh, you might
Maybe I
go
go like
high on enjoyment. You might go
point.
like.
Yeah, maybe I'll add like a 0.5 up or 0.5
Yeah.
down, but nothing more.
All right, then I was gonna say you might go as high as 8 from enjoyment. You might
8?
really enjoy this movie. 7.5,
7.5?
because
Yeah.
you shouldn't give it an 8, but you might. You might.
More.
No. All right. So what do you give it? What do you rate it?
I only believe in one score, which is how I felt watching the movie, and that's a score I believe in. I also encourage avid movie watchers to kind of get your own palette and don't even rely on the scores we're giving, because we're not trying to be like, what do you call it, like critics, right?
Fuck you. I'm right. You're wrong.
Right.
My score matters most.
Sure. We let it this.
Come up with your own opinion. We have our own.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
You should enjoy it in the way that you enjoy it. And there are shitty movies. It's like music. You know,
Yeah.
have your own taste.
Exactly.
But if you think this is a good movie, just know you're wrong. So what's your
I
one
think
score?
I'm gonna put it
Prick.
into another.
Sorry, that was aggressive terminology.
I think I'm gonna put this in the 6 bracket.
6? You're gonna give it a 6?
Overall, I
Really?
think both
Okay.
enjoyment, and the only reason I'm giving it a 6 is because
It sucked.
I enjoyed that 1.5 hours. I'm not giving it more because it really sucked. And if you really look at it as a point of just like, oh, it's a movie, no, it's not. It's a bad project. It's clearly underfunded, but even just had the money, I don't think
I've seen
a better story could have helped this. It is a risky endeavor. That's something that wins a point in my heart. Second, it's super related to video games, so that wins
Great,
a huge.
sure.
That wins actually like 2, if not 3 points in my mind.
very
for me.
unique and
Yeah.
elements of it very well done.
What's your score?
Redo this. Do this better.
No, people won't like it.
What's
Clearly.
my score? What do you think my score is? Out of 10.
We don't do negatives.
Oh, I had a negative fucking time. So apparently we do.
Yeah.
What do you think my score is?
Your score, I think it would be like, if it made you stop, that's clearly like a 1,
It's a 2.
2. Yeah,
It's a
I was gonna
It's
say
a
2,
hard
but I was
2.
like, yeah, hard 2.
Sorry if I cut you off on your guess.
No, that's correct. Yeah, that makes sense.
It's a 2 out of 10. Don't watch it.
2 plus.
no, but you know what?
6. That fucks. Oh, I like this. That really fucks up the average and gets it to like a 3.
Here's what I'll say.
Yes.
Um,
4. Yeah,
Watch the first 40 minutes. Because
or just the final scene.
no,
No.
but you should watch. I think it's worth watching. I think it's worth seeing
It
what they
is-
do.
Yeah,
Suspend disbelief and
I think that's exactly. I think that's the perfect way to say it. Do it for the art form.
yeah.
know,
Do it so
we're-
you know you've seen it. That's why I always wanted to.
Yeah.
It's why I always regretted not watching it. It was why I was happy you chose it, because I was happy to finally be seeing it, even though I hated it.
Yeah.
I want to know how they did something. The scene in the escalator. Remember when he's chasing the guy? in
Oh,
the-
he chucks that woman down, man.
How do you fake that?
Huh?
That it looked so real. I mean, it really looked like that woman got smashed.
Yeah, they can have like sometimes like, I'm guessing like soft gear. The guy behind her catches or something. But I think that's a really good scene right there.
Great scene.
Because you're in like public ground and they, not trying to be nice here, he smashes her like
Full
head
send.
first on a moving escalator between group of people. It's scary, man. Escalators are scary.
Escalators. My mom once tells a story of she was reporting and a kid got his like shoelace stuck in an escalator and the thing just like fucking opened up and ate him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Damn.
dead.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's why I wear Velcro.
poor kid. That's why you wear Velcro. Velcro laces. Okay. Final thoughts.
Final thoughts. I think overall, this has been like a really good picture, and I think this is the first movie where we've ended on a really big split on two sides of a coin. So I love that. Obviously, I think it's really good to get different perspectives in life, and you really bring up good points about the importance of logic being there, even though it's not something I personally always keeping an eye for. But on the back of my mind, I'm still looking at it because that's what makes, like, your good movies, or not good, like your films,
Yeah.
where they have like everything has a reason for it. Every person, everything they do has a purpose in it. And when you have something that is backed up, you have like a great experience. And yeah, out here definitely logic really cracks, and that's why I started saying that if you can just watch this movie, and I don't know if anybody of you will try this, but just assume that you're watching a video game, and you'll have a little bit more fun than watching it as a movie.
Yeah. I'll take it. I'll take it.
Yeah, if you guys have time, at least once, go out there. It's on Amazon Prime. uh, you can watch it, and it's like you can watch three
Yes.
movies from Ilya. You can watch, I think it's Hotheads. That's the one. Yep.
Nobody.
Nobody, and my favorite, nobody uh, ever said, Hardcore Henry.
Don't make me watch any more of this. Don't make me watch this movie again.
Nah, I'm just gonna convince your kids this is the best movie ever.
Oh God, it was horrible. It was horrible.
That's our time. Thank you for listening to In Between the Scenes. Got a film you want us to break down next? Drop it in the comments. If you like this episode, don't waste a second. Follow the show, rate us 5 stars, and keep us on your watch list. Just like, Henry clung to his survival.